Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. I'm trying to free your mind.
So last week, the good folks over at Neuralink released a blog giving an update on some of the cool things that they've been doing with technology. They've been testing it on people who are paralyzed. In a prime study, participant by a guy by the name of Nolan Arbaugh was able to play games like chess and Mario Kart. And this looks like Slay the Spire, all from his mind. Now, in the middle of this blog, there is a great piece of news where they basically admit in the weeks following the surgery, a number of threads retracted from the brain, resulting in a net decrease in the number of effective electrodes. This led to a reduction in BPS. In response to this change, we modified the recording algorithm to be more sensitive to neural population signals, improved the techniques to translate these signals into cursor movements, and enhance the user interface. These refinements produced a rapid and sustained improvement in BPS that has now superseded Nolan's initial performance. Now, if you read this blog, you think, okay, they've been working on this technology for a while. I'm sure that they've been working out the kinks. But according to those familiar with the matter, they have known about this for a very long time. This is coming from Reuters. Make of this what you will. This is mainstream shield media, but exclusive. Musk Neuralink has faced issues with its tiny wires for years. It says Neuralink's disclosure last week that tiny wires inside the brain of its first patient had pulled out of position is an issue Elon Musk company has known for years, according to 5 people familiar with the matter. Continuing on, the article says the company knew from animal testing that it had conducted ahead of its U.S. approval last year from the FDA that the wires might retract, removing with them the sensitive electrodes that decode brain signals. 3 of the sources said. Whoever those sources are, make of that what you will. Again, Neuralink deemed the risk low enough for a redesign not to be merited. So as this article says, again, they're testing this to give on paralyzed patients the ability to use digital devices. But it says that these wires are thinner than human hair, retracted from the patient's brain in the first human trial, resulting in fewer electrodes. Now, these signals get translated into actions like moving a mouse on a computer screen. Neuralink said that it managed to restore the implant's ability to monitor its patient's brain signals by making changes that included modifying its algorithm to be more sensitive. So did they go into his brain and modify this, or did they make a tweak in the app or the device plugged in and said, yep, just make it more sensitive, even though these wires are gone, we're just gonna make a more sensitive adjustment so we can get a better estimate? Are we estimating brain signals, or don't we want more accurate readings? I figured you would want the most accurate readings possible. But I guess we can't go too hard on Neuralink for this because the FDA was aware of the potential issues with the wires because the company shared it when they had animal testing years ago, but they let it go. And the FDA declined to comment on whether it was aware of the issue, of course, or its potential significance. And it says, the FDA says it will continue to monitor the safety of patients enrolled in Neuralink study. If you knew about this issue, I'm surprised that they would just say, you know what, go ahead and let it go. But then again, it's the FDA, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But what if they said, let's go back to the drawing board and let's just say, hey, we're going to start over and retweak it. So what if we just come up with a brand new model? But according to this article and according to some of these anonymous sources, just retweaking or redesigning the thread could be a problem. And it said anchoring them, like if they wanted to anchor the wires in the brain, for example, it could result in brain tissue damage if the threads dislodge or if the company needs to remove the device. So obviously, before they started working on people like Nolan Arbaugh and other paralyzed patients, they tested this with animals initially after the FDA rejected them back in 2022. But when they were testing pigs, because science has shown that pigs have similar tissues to humans, they said that these pigs had developed a type of inflammation in the brain called granulomas. And they said granulomas are an inflammatory tissue response that can form around a foreign object or an infection. And it says in one case, a pig developed a severe case. And said that the pig developed a fever and was heaving after surgeries. But of course, Neuralink's researchers did not recognize the extent of the problem until examining the pig's brain post-mortem. And they ultimately, at the end, decided they couldn't determine the cause of the granulomas, but concluded that the device and the attached threads were not to blame at all. Now, I'm sure the Neuralink team is continuing to test these with different animals and stuff like that, but obviously they've moved on to the next phase, and humans are the next big wave. But it's going to be unfortunate when they have these weird kinks to work out, wires being retracted in the brain, and obviously they don't know how to tweak it just yet. It's going to be people that are guinea pigs for this that get adverse effects to a new technology just because they felt like it was an opportunity for them to live a better life. But we will see. Let me know in the comments, is this the sign of terrible things to come? Do you think Elon Musk and company will get this ironed out? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're watching this on Rumble, Odyssey, or YouTube, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you and take care.